Mike, earlier you mentioned glyphosate, and we were talking about the different uses for glyphosate. Many people know that are watching that it's recently been declared a probable carcinogen. Yes. But there's some unknown uses for glyphosate too that you were mentioning.
Well, most people associate glyphosate, and the most popular brand name for that is Roundup, Monsanto's herbicide. But as a generic chemical, it's called glyphosate, and it's sold in many, many other products for agricultural use. Glyphosate is usually associated with genetically modified crops because crops are Roundup resistant, right? You can spray the whole field with glyphosate, but the GMO crops survive. So most people think that if they buy wheat or wheat flakes or wheat bread, that it's not going to have glyphosate in it. They're wrong. Wheat farmers are spraying glyphosate on the crops right before harvest to dry them out more quickly and prepare them for harvest. And it's not just wheat, it's alfalfa and other crops. Glyphosate is being used as a chemical desiccant to reduce the waiting time after cutting and before harvesting the grains, thereby reducing the risk of the farmer to, let's say, catastrophic rains that would ruin that crop. So glyphosate is now being found in wheat products, even though wheat is not a GMO commercialized product yet. Glyphosate is toxic at low parts per billion concentrations, and some scientists even think parts per trillion concentrations may have negative hormonal effects on the body. So there's a lot of research still being done in this area, a lot to learn about glyphosate toxicity and where it's found in the food supply, but I think this is going to be a huge issue for the next few years of people realizing just how much glyphosate they're eating and how much it's poisoning our soils, our water supply, and our food supply. It's a huge issue.
What are solutions for people? I mean, how are people going to be able to deal with this overabundance of glyphosate?
Well, really, one of the best solutions is to grow as much of your own food as you can. Now, I know that's not practical for people who live in cities, for example, but you'd be surprised what you can do. I invented the Food Rising mini farm grow system. You'd be surprised you can grow tomatoes and strawberries and lettuce, abundant lettuce, more than you can even eat, without using soil and without using electricity and no pumps or anything. It's a simple system. You'd be amazed. So you really can grow more than you think if you just try it. And it doesn't take much attention. But the other thing is, buy organic, certified organic, but also ask about the country of origin so that you're getting things that are grown more locally wherever possible. In the United States, most foods are not contaminated with heavy metals. It's very important to know. The U.S. is actually a clean agricultural environment in terms of heavy metals for the most part, right? And Europe is also very, very clean. Europe has even more stringent standards than the FDA by far. In fact, a lot of global companies that produce contaminated raw materials like rice protein, they can't sell it to Europe because it would be illegal. So they dump it on the U.S., where it's packaged as organic, raw, sprouted protein and sold at health food stores. Wow. Yeah. We are the dumping ground for a lot of these things that are grown in China, where Europe would not accept them. They would violate European laws. So you've got to become informed. Definitely check out our laboratory at labs.naturalnews.com, where we post results for free. So, people have called us kind of like the Consumer Reports of the natural products industry. We're not associated with Consumer Reports, but that's a general description that people have given. But I'm inspired by Consumer Reports because they've done a lot of good work in laboratory analysis.
Hi, this is Ty Bollinger. Thanks for watching. If you want to know the truth about cancer, click the link in the description below to watch our award-winning docuseries, The Truth About Cancer, A Global Quest.